So you're thinking of going plant-based, but you're worried you're gonna miss out on things like cheese, or you're not gonna get enough protein, or it's just gonna be way too expensive. Let's fix that. Today, we're breaking down the basics of going plant-based. Everything you need to know to make this work without overwhelming you. Before we jump in, let me just clear something up right now. Here on our channel, we focus on whole food plant-based, which some might consider a more extreme version of going plant-based. You don't have to do that to be plant-based. You don't need to be perfect. What it just really means is making plants the star of your plate. Veggies, fruits, whole grains, nuts, seeds. The food that is natural to our earth. Maybe you are already vegan and you want to take it a little further by becoming whole food plant-based. That's great. Maybe you still want to include a few animal products along the way as you adjust to this way of eating. That's fine. You do you. The bottom line is this is your journey and nobody else, including me, gets to tell you how to approach it. I myself took 12 years from being an omnivore to going fully plant-based with a lot of weird little pit stops along the way. So you do you. Here's the goal. Eat more plants. That's it. And if you want a little qualification for why I'm telling you all of this, it's because I myself went on this journey. I lost half my body weight. I improved all of my health markers, and I even reduced my biological age to 10 years younger than I currently am. All right, first things first, let's talk about what the number one thing is. People always wanting to know, am I gonna get enough protein? Yeah, plants have protein. I know you've been taught your entire life to equate meat with protein, but that is just a very outdated idea. Protein is actually made up of something called amino acids, and plants have all the amino acids you need. Now the trick is when you're getting your protein through plants, is you have to eat a variety, and ideally from whole food plant-based sources. Let me give you a more specific picture. Right here, I've got a list of everyday plant-based protein sources and how much protein you get from them. For some of these sources, this is actually more protein than you're gonna get from the animal products that you're swapping out from. And get this, even your vegetables have protein in them. People don't realize how much protein you can actually get just from vegetables. And guess what? These things are packed with fiber, something that animal products do not have at all. Here's a little window into some of our most common vegetables that have tons of protein. And just think, if you pack this with some of those more significant protein sources we already talked about, you're getting tons of protein value inside of your meals. And we haven't even gotten to adding sauces and stuff like that that can up your protein amounts as well. Now you might hear some people say that plant proteins aren't complete because they don't contain all of the amino acids. But here's the thing, your body builds complete proteins from the variety of foods that you eat throughout the day. You don't need to get it all from one single meal. So consider that little myth debunked. And yes, plant-based athletes thrive on this way of eating. Even some of the strongest animals on Earth thrive on plant-based proteins. Gorillas, rhinos, elephants, all those animals' protein comes from plants. One of the common things that people will tell you is that you need to take a supplement to be plant-based. The only supplement you actually need is vitamin B12. One, that's it. And guess what? Most people who eat animal products are also deficient in vitamin B12. So it's not even like a plant-based thing, it's just a general regular human being thing. And guess what? B12 doesn't actually even come from animal products. B12 is bacteria. The only reason that animals get it and that it comes through their protein source is because they've been supplemented it as well. So all the animals are is a carrier of the B12. Skip the middleman, just have it straight from the source. So yeah, you're gonna get enough protein, don't worry about it. In fact, most people who eat a whole food plant-based diet naturally get enough protein without having to count anything. Focus on fiber-rich whole plant foods and the protein is gonna take care of itself. The second biggest concern is, do I have to give up my favorite foods like cheese? All right, let's talk about it. I know, you love your cheese. It's salty, it's gooey, it's delicious. And here's the thing, cheese cravings are real. And there's actually a biochemical reason for this. Casein in dairy breaks down into casomorphins. And those things dance inside of your brain receptors. So yeah, it's a tiny bit legitimately addictive. But here's the good news. Those cravings fade in like 3 to 4 weeks. You just gotta get through it. And here's the other good news. Today's plant-based cheeses, they're actually really good. Trust me, for someone who has been dabbling with plant-based cheeses for a lot longer than I want to admit because it's gonna age me, they have come ridiculously a long way to being stretchy and melty, and they even kind of crisp up the way cheeses do. But if you want to do the whole food plant-based version, there are tons of recipes out there. Specifically, our plant-based cheese recipe, which you can get in our cookbook. I'll give you more information about that in 2 seconds. That cheese sauce is incredible. When you first make it, it's kind of like a melty queso. We like to use it on nacho cheese. But if you put it in the fridge, it'll thicken up and it turns into like a spread. So you can make this perfect grilled cheese out of it. And then if you stick it in the freezer, it hardens up and then it's grateable. So if you want that recipe, plus a ton of other great plant-based recipes, consider picking up that book. We have got a QR code that is on the screen right now, but if you want a hard copy, you can email me right here and send me your information and I will let you know the best way to order this and get it delivered right to your door. And we've actually knocked the prices down a little bit. So, now's the best time to pick that up. Anyway, for the cheese addicts out there, don't worry about it. You're gonna be fine. Another big question a lot of people ask is this actually healthy? Or am I going to end up deficient in something? Let's look and see what the actual experts say about this. So according to the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics, which is the largest body of dietitians in North America, by the way, well-planned vegan and plant-based diets are nutritionally adequate for all stages of life and can offer long-term health benefits like lower risk of chronic disease. Okay, the British Dietetic Association also agrees with that, and they say plant-based diets can support healthy living at every age and may reduce the risk of conditions like heart disease and type 2 diabetes. And third, the American Heart Association has repeatedly highlighted that diets centered on whole plant foods are linked with better heart health outcomes. So it's not just a fringe idea. This is mainstream science talking about this. Plant-centric diets are associated with a lower risk of heart disease, which, as we know, is the #1 killer in North America. Why plants? Plants have 0 cholesterol. They're typically low in saturated fat, and they're high in fiber, which helps remove excess cholesterol from the body. You're gonna hear me mention fiber a couple of times today. It's a superhero, and you can only get it from plants. Research shows that plant-forward diets reduce the risk of type 2 diabetes and improve insulin sensitivity. Why? Like I just said, plants are high in fiber. They slow digestion, and they prevent blood sugar spikes. They're lower in saturated fats, which helps your insulin receptors work better. And they just create lower inflammation overall. And generally speaking, most people experience better energy and stable blood sugar after switching. One of the biggest benefits people notice is weight loss, without even counting calories. Like I mentioned at the top of this video, I myself lost half my body weight, which was 180 pounds. I lost an entire person by going plant-based. And why did that work for me? Because plant foods are naturally lower in calorie density. They're high in fiber, so they fill you up. They're high in water content, which also helps to fill you up. And they're much harder to actually overeat when it comes to calorie density than processed foods. That's right, you get to eat big portions and still feel light and satisfied. Doesn't that sound great? As is evidence in things like the Blue Zones studies, plant-based diets are linked to a longer lifespan on average. Why? A couple things we've already mentioned. Lower inflammation, better cardiovascular health, improved metabolic function, and protection against chronic disease over time. Now let's talk about the things that everyone loves to talk about, their digestive health. Your gut loves plants. A whole food plant-based diet increases the diversity of healthy gut bacteria, which affects everything from digestion to immune function to mental health. Let me talk about my superhero fiber just a little bit more. It prevents constipation. It reduces the risk of colon cancer. It promotes beneficial gut bacteria. It helps regulate hormones and blood sugar. And yet, your bowel movements are going to change in a good way. For those of you that are concerned about your micronutrients and whether or not you're going to be deficient, This is a very, very common concern. But here's the thing, if you eat a variety of plant foods, you're gonna get all the vitamins and minerals your body needs. You will naturally get all of these things that are listed on the screen right here. And like I said before, the only thing you actually need to supplement is B12, but guess what? Most people need to supplement B12. Something I've seen in the comments of our videos is people asking about oxalates and whether or not those are dangerous. The main concern is that certain vegetables contain high levels of oxalates, and the problem with that is that they can cause kidney stones. And that's why people shouldn't eat as many plants as I recommend. So, is that true? The short answer is, for most people, no. So for those of you that are like I was a couple years ago, you're saying, what the heck are oxalates? They're natural compounds found in a lot of plant foods. Spinach, beets, rhubarb, almonds, potato, whole grains, even chocolate. Let's be clear, they're not toxins. They're just part of how plants grow. Here's the big misconception. Oxalates can cause kidney stones, but only in some people, and usually only when combined with high levels of animal proteins, low hydration, and low calcium intake. So yeah, you don't get them by eating spinach or potatoes or any plants. Here's the thing most people don't actually hear. When you eat calcium-rich foods with oxalates, they bind together inside of your gut and get excretiated, which means your body never actually absorbs them. And for those of you like me who grew up with the Got Milk campaigns that made you think that calcium can only come from dairy, here's a bunch of whole food plant-based sources that you can get a lot of calcium from. Fortified plant milks, tofu, specifically tofu with calcium sulfate, greens like kale and broccoli, beans, sesame seeds, tahini. So oxalates on a balanced diet, not actually a problem. For most people, if you do suffer from kidney stones, go talk to your doctor. But don't not eat spinach. I mean, you can go and ask any urologist, and the number one cause for kidney stones is actually not having enough hydration in your body. Drink water. You drink enough water, your kidney stones are gonna flush out what's bad in there. Here's an easy rule of thumb if you didn't learn this in grade 4. Clear urine equals good hydration. If your urine ain't clear, drink more water. If you don't like the taste of water, grow up. Sorry. There's other ways to enjoy water. You can get like little tablets without sugar in them that have flavors and stuff. So to answer this question of is eating whole food plant-based healthy? Yeah. It's one of the most studied, most effective ways to improve your health markers. Concern number 4, isn't plant-based eating expensive? This is actually one of the biggest misconceptions. Most plant-based food is the cheapest thing you're gonna find in the store. Potatoes, beans, rice, oats, frozen vegetables. Especially if you buy your beans and grains in bulk and you cook them yourself. The things that get expensive when you're eating this way are things like your faux meats, your fancy processed cheeses. But those things are optional and, let's be honest, not super healthy. Whole food plant-based eating is based on foods that have existed since the dawn of time, which is why they're super affordable, bi-seasonal, and consider frozen options which are just as healthy. Shop around. Concern number 5, isn't it difficult to cook this way? Not at all. I can do it. My kids can do it. In fact, many plant-based meals are probably easier than what you're making right now. Batch cook some grains and beans, roast some veggies, make a big pot of chili, and suddenly your meals take minutes to throw together. A lot of foods you already eat are probably accidentally vegan. Oatmeal, avocado toast, peanut butter on toast, pasta with marinara sauce. For those of you that are new to our channel, we have actually reviewed close to 75 plant-based cookbooks, and recently we just did this year's top 10 list. So I'll put the link in the description down below to that video, and that might give you some inspiration for a cookbook that might be helpful for you. And like I already mentioned, ours is full of a lot of really delicious comfort food, simple meals that are so easy, even our teenagers can make them. Start off with some simple recipes you actually enjoy. If you need to do any swaps to make them plant-based, do that. Keep it simple, build from there. Another common question people have is it difficult to eat this way socially? So when you're eating out, you're going to people's houses. The short answer is that it's easier than ever because people are more socially accepting of it, and also restaurants are just more able to, I don't want to say deal with it, but deal with it. Most restaurants actually mark their vegan items right on the menu, or they have their own specific plant-based menu, or they let you know that this dish can be made vegetarian or vegan or plant-based. And if you're unsure, there's tons of apps out there like Happy Cow that let you know what restaurants are vegan, plant-based, vegetarian friendly. And if you're unsure, you can always email or call the restaurant in advance. Trust me, they want to take your money. And if you're going with a group and you give them enough warning in advance, there's no reason they can't have something for you. When it comes to social gatherings, it really depends on the group of people you're going with. For us, we usually just bring our own main and we bring extra because people always want to sample it. Worst case, just eat beforehand and don't sweat it. I've had mostly positive experiences when it comes to friends and family, but really this is your choice. You don't have to be that annoying vegan, annoying plant-based person. You don't need to debate Uncle Bob unless you really, really want to. And you know what you can do? Send him this video. It'll answer a lot of his questions. A lot of people ask, do I have to be perfect? No. Like I already mentioned, it took me 12 years to go from being omnivore to eating completely plant-based. There's no vegan or plant-based police out there. You're not being graded. Your progress is what matters more than your perfection. Start at your own pace. Swap one meal, then two. Or go plant-based before 6 p.m. and let your dinners have a little bit of animal products if that helps you transition. Start off with meatless Mondays if that makes it easier for you. Every plant-based dish you have, instead of having a dish full of animal products, makes a huge difference for your health, for the animals, and for the planet. All right, so if you want to start today, let's get into a quick little 3-step starter plan for you. Number 1, start small. Pick one meal per day and make it plant-based. Number 2, stock up staples inside of your house. We're talking things like beans, grains, frozen veggies, tofu, nutritional yeast. And number 3, learn 3 to 5 go-to meals that you can make without thinking about it, without a recipe. Just based on things that you already like that you can modify. And like I said, if you're looking for suggestions, there are tons on the internet, but there's lots here on our channel, on our website, pbwj.ca. And if you're looking for 2 solid resources, I got you covered. We got our cookbook right here, which I've already mentioned a lot in this video. But the other thing is, especially if you are alone and you don't have a loved one or a family member or friends who eat this way, and you're looking for support, consider joining a membership like ours, or just any kind of community where you can talk to other people that are doing this. Our membership community is amazing. It is full of people from all different stages of people that are fully plant-based, people that are just starting out, and it is judgment-free inside of there. No one is gonna judge you if you're still eating animal products and you're just kind of starting to work over or just even consider it. You get a lot of perks from being over there. I'm testing out new recipes all the time. But just being part of that group and the message boards and being able to throw up a question and getting a lot of answers from myself and from other people all around the world, that's what makes that thing worth its weight in gold. But it's not even expensive. It's the price of a crappy cup of coffee a month. So, consider it if you think it would be helpful for you. If you're starting eating plant-based this year, I am super excited for you. Eating this way has literally changed my life. And all I want to do is make it simple and delicious and easy for you. So if there's anything that we didn't cover in this video or any kind of content that you would find helpful here on the channel, let me know in the comments down below, because we take a lot of your suggestions to make video ideas from. And if you found this video helpful, please hit that like button to let YouTube know to share it with other people. Subscribe so you can get more of our videos like this. And since you're still hanging around, YouTube has got this video all queued up for you to check out next. Thanks.